This footage shows the Iron Dome in action, shooting Iranian missiles out of the sky. Since October 7th, Israel's defences have been put under extraordinary pressure from dozens of mass rocket attacks and 2 barrages from Iran. Now the Sun has been given unprecedented access and spoken to one of the women behind the controls of the technological marvel that is the Iron Dome system. The Iron Dome is Israel's most revolutionary piece of defence design, developed out of necessity and honed by the consistent threat of bombardment from Gaza, Lebanon and Iran. It completed its first successful test in March 2009 and the battery was first deployed in March 2011. The dome works in 3 key stages. First, a radar system detects incoming airborne threats. The radar can detect missiles and rockets within a 70-kilometre range. Next, a computer in a control system assesses the impact point of each threat and decides whether it will hit a populated area or not. A human operator makes every crucial decision on whether to intercept or not in a matter of seconds. If the missile poses no threat to civilians or infrastructure, the decision is often taken not to intercept to conserve the battery's rockets. If the missile does pose a risk to lives, a launcher fires 2 Tamir rockets to intercept each oncoming threat. Each launcher unit contains 20 rockets for interception. The Tamir interceptor missiles, manufactured by defence firm Raytheon, are also very costly. An IDF commander at a base in southern Israel said they cost around $10,000 each. The IDF claims it has a 96% success rate, but the volume of rockets that have been fired by Hamas, Hezbollah and Iran means some have escaped the defence system. Without the Iron Dome, Israel's death toll would be much higher. I spoke to a battery operator who makes the decisions to intercept these threats. She told me how she strategises each interception in a matter of seconds to make life-saving decisions. Can you talk me through how the Iron Dome works?
I can tell you more or less. We have some things that we can't share too much. You have rockets that are being fired and UAVs that are being fired. You have So we have all the rockets and the UAVs that are being fired from terrorist organizations to the civilian areas I'm in the north, so up north is my region, but as well as in the south and other places in the country. And then we have a team of people who sit, an officer, an interceptor, and we have technicians who sit on a sort of like a bunch of computers. And when we see missiles that are being sent towards us, the system as well as us, we kind of collaborate together and build plans with the rockets, and then we intercept them using our system in general.
And how long do you have, when a missile's fired, how long do you have to decide whether to intercept it or not?
We have seconds. I can't say when it comes to numbers, but we don't have that much time. And at the end of the day, we have to be very sharp and focused and make decisions at a very, very fast pace.
So last April, nearly a year ago now, Iran struck Israel directly for the first time. Were you on shift that day?
I was on shifts during that day, but I wasn't on the shift that it happened. But we did learn a lot from it and a lot about it. It was very intense, unlike some things that we haven't seen, but we dealt with it in an amazing success. Everyone was super sharp, and honestly, I can say it was one of the most very realistic moments to understand the level of terror that we're dealing with and understanding how much civilians are being attacked and how drastic it can get. And it puts you into perspective. And at the end of the day, we were very proud and happy to see that we could deal with it and that we were so successful. But it's very upsetting to see that this is the level that it has come to, and that there are so many people staying hours and hours in bunkers and having to be scared because they don't know what's going to happen, and they don't know, and they fear for their lives at the end of the day.
And so the times where you've been on shift and you've made decisions to shoot down missiles, have they mainly come from Gaza, from Hamas?
I'm up north, so those aren't what I usually deal with. I deal with a lot of the rockets that came from Hezbollah, as well as UAVs that have come from Syria and also Iran. So I've dealt with all of those. I haven't dealt with things from Gaza because I'm up north. But I've dealt with more than enough missiles and made more than enough decisions from Hezbollah that I feel proud of that I could have intercepted.
How many Hezbollah missiles have you shot down in, say, a single shift?
Share
You
that,
can't share.
But, I could tell you an estimate of tens, hundreds, personally. But there's been thousands that have been shot. I'm sure that you know numbers that are insane that have been reached and that have been affecting so many civilians. And and that have been specifically fired to be shot at civilians and at people that are genuinely innocent and have done nothing wrong. And it's my job to defend them. And it doesn't matter if it's one rocket or 1,000 rockets. I will shoot every single one down because that is my job and that is what I've come to do.
And in the moment when a missile's coming, how do you decide whether to shoot it down or not?
We have training that we go through to know what we have to shoot down and what we don't. And we have the system and we kind of work together. And we have a bunch of units and measurements that we know, and I can't really share them, but we know. And with that, we kind of decide if it's something that is the priority of it, if it's something that is even hostile or not hostile. And at the end of the day, anything that is harmful to civilians, to people, to the country, we shoot down and we do the best that we can.
And what's the biggest threat at the moment? So there's a lot of talk that maybe Iran could strike. Are you guys fearful of that?
Fearful? No. We're prepared for anything that might come at the end of the day. We have dealt with, attacks from Iran before. We've dealt from attacks from Gaza and from Hamas and Hezbollah, as well as the Houthis and even from Syria. So whatever. So we're in charge of the north, and whatever comes, we're ready for it.
And so the Iron Dome would be able to cope if Iran struck again directly to Israel?
Yeah, we've dealt with it before. We know how to deal with it again.
That's fine. And so when, missiles and rockets are launched and you need to shoot them down, how many can you actually shoot down before you need to change the battery and how many it can strike down?
Anything that needs to be shot down will be shot down. Anything that needs to be replaced will be replaced. Numbers I can't say, but we haven't dealt with situations where something went wrong in that sense. We're always on alert. We always have backups, and we're 150% prepared, 200% prepared at all times.
And when you go to your shifts now, what do you think the biggest threat is? Which country? Which terror group?
I think that at the end of the day, we have a lot of we've dealt with a lot of threats, and we've also dealt with them together. So there isn't really anything that we think is the biggest threat. There isn't an opinion about it. We just kind of defend what we need to defend. We just defend what we need to defend. Anything that comes to harm civilians, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just to make sure that everybody's safe.
And I understand the Iron Dome battery systems, they're in secret locations. How confident are you that places like Iran won't be able to find these secret locations? Or is that why it's so important that they are mobile and can be moved quickly?
It's a bigger thing. We're making sure that we're staying safe and not leaking any information and keeping everything very, very, very minimal and to ourselves. And that's how it should be at the end of the day. It's the army. It's how it works. And that's all we care about. We want to make sure that we're staying safe and protecting our country.
And how does it feel knowing you're saving people's lives?
Wow. Amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, I am, in my early 20s and experiencing this. It's a success at the end of the day. We have an honor to be serving in what I do. We are not attacking. We're just defending our people against terrorist organizations. We are making sure that they stay safe, that they stay alive. At the end of the day, there were thousands of rockets that were sent at us during the war, and thanks to what I do and what all the people who work with me do and serve with me do, we have saved millions of lives every single day. And then knowing that that is what I do every day gives me a reason to wake up in the morning, gives me a reason to keep going. And it genuinely just makes you want to say thank you that you get the opportunity to give so much back to a country that has given you so much.
The Iron Dome is one of 4 systems that make up Israel's aerial defences. A new system called Iron Beam is set to be deployed in the coming months. It is an energy weapon that costs a fraction of the price to fire at incoming threats. As tensions continue to rise with Iran, Israel's ability to adapt shows the country continues to evolve to global threats. I've seen the cost of Hamas's attack on October 7th firsthand, and without these defence systems, there is no doubt the devastation would be greater.